Welcome everyone, it's Enrico Jaco. I'm the Signal. We're powered by the mighty Team Alliance. And we're just going to go over more price action and talk a little bit about the breaks, the breakouts, the types of breaks. Alright? I want you to know that there are probably 3 different types of breaks that you'll find helpful knowing. You got your false breakout, right? That's something like here, this area, false breakout. Anything that goes above the line and comes back, those are what we call false breakouts. Something sort of like this. Looks like it's going to break out, then doesn't break out, goes all the way back. We got false breakouts. False breakouts, when they occur, many times you're going to find traders that are going to trade those breakouts. They are looking for any reason that the breakout will not happen. And there's enough of those type of traders. They're called contrarian traders. There's enough of them that they can change the outcome of a breakout. All right? So it's of utmost importance to kind of learn the difference between an actual breakout, a false breakout, and the third kind, which we call a teaser breakout. All right? Now, breakouts, usually for them to work properly, to actually break out in any real form, there needs to be some type of build-up. You're not going to convince the other traders that market is going to break out if it doesn't have a level of build-up to it. All right, let's go back a little bit and see where our last box was actually at. I want to see where am I at on this chart here? Okay, trying to find another box for you. I thought I had another one drawn in here. I guess not, maybe. Oh, here it goes. If you look right here, we see a real breakout, right? You see a real breakout has formed right here. This is a real breakout. I'm pretty sure before the real breakout came, you had what we call right here false breakouts, right? You even had what you might say is a teaser breakout. A teaser breakout, the difference between the teaser breakout and the false breakout is that the teaser breakout usually extends a little further than the false breakout, because the false breakout, remember, our whole idea of using our price action says that a false breakout usually snaps back really quickly. So it usually reverses really quickly, right? So sort of like how the market came here, and then you see that it accelerated up very quickly, right? This wick right here is speed in the market, and it shows you how fast the market accelerated back up. That's a false breakout, all right? Here, if you look, this type of breakout, it extended a little further than the false breakout, and its progression back was not as quick. Notice there's not any wick on it, right? And when it went back to the line, when it reversed back in steps, right? That's a teaser breakout. Now, trying to know the difference between a teaser breakout and this real breakout right here can be a little tricky. And that's why you like to have vehicles where you have some room, some tolerance, some room for error. You know, on your native platform, you're not going to have any room for error, so you're going to have to pick correctly, right? On your other platforms, you're going to have a little room for error there, all right? This real breakout shows that there's full strength in the market by these bears, right? And this area right here used to be bull strength at one point, but the bulls all got toppled over, right? All got toppled over. If you look at this, the break really started up here, right? It really started up here. This is like the drop on it, the second extension kind of off the break. But the break really started up here, and we had a teaser break, kind of. And now you can actually call this a actual break because it moved the market to another level, right? So when we talk about breakouts, we're talking about events that move the market to another price level, either above or below. This one obviously is below, right? It moved the price level down, right? So these breaks, these types of breaks, you got to start to recognize them and know the fact that people are playing the opposite direction of those breaks that are just as smart. So they are looking for setups that are weak, that are very weak, and they're going to be on them, and they're going to come off the sidelines, and they're going to move the market in their direction. All right? So these false breaks are usually just traps because they happen so quickly. All right? They happen really quickly, so you can kind of escape them if you give yourself time. If you just do a confirmation, you can kind of escape the false breakout. That's why in this particular trade that we do, wherever the setup comes, we wait for the market to extend out first and then reverse back and then buy or sell on the strength of the move on the next extension in our direction, instead of just going on a first sign of a break, because usually every break is a fake, right? Half the breaks are going to be fakes. That's how much false breakouts happen. Half of them are going to be fakes, right? And that includes these teaser types of breaks. These teaser types of breaks, you can get a couple of pips off of and probably get to maybe even break even if you play them right, or just lose, you know, one or two ticks on it or whatever. But you have to be leery of these teaser type breakouts also, because they'll extend down just like they're a real break, right? Just like this false breakout extends, but this teaser break is dangerous because it's going to break down, and when it goes back, it's not going to snap back as quick. It's not, right? So in the midst of this not snapping back, like you can't tell by this diagram really, but this snap back here, you know, it could have kind of progressively happened, where you're thinking that there's still some resistance at this point, at this price level, and you'll go in there and might still do a sell when the market actually is still going against you. All right, so that's how we look at the breaks, right? What else information can I give you about this? Let's move this out a little bit, extend this out a little bit more. Let's look at this area. You'll see false breakouts, right? False. You see these that come out there. These are more false breakouts. They'll come down. These are more like teaser breaks because look how long they extend through. But they shoot back kind of extreme also. But they're more type of teaser breaks because they come out a little further, and you can make a couple of pips off of there. But if you're your timing is incorrect, you'll get caught, right? But they're teasers. They could be traded, but I wouldn't want to trade them. I like to actually catch a real break. You can trade these in your binary options because they're very short term deals. So a lot of time you can trade these in your binary options if you do it correctly. What else can we get into with about this? Let me see. As we look right here, we'll see what could be that's like a false break. You see how market came down and snapped right back, right? And it'll trap traders in this area, right? And then go against them. So like it'll trap all these traders thinking the market is going to go down, and then it'll reverse back like it did, mess around a bit, and then it might pop all the way up here somewhere until these traders are just sick and got to get out to trade, and that'll move the market up even more. If that's how the scenario plays out. You can never know how the scenario plays out until it actually is playing out. And while it's playing out, it's always a 50-50 chance that it's not going to play out. So we have to wait till things are really in our favor. That's where the patience comes in. Anytime you see these little teaser breaks, they're interesting because, you know, a break can happen from them. Some of them do have some type of follow through, but like I said, they're just tricks of the market and traps. And these traps are set, you know, at various levels and prices to get the most traders. You know, they're trying to get the most money tricked. That's the object. So that's why they're there. Luckily, these lines that we create, these boxes, help us to continually monitor the market so we can find out who's the dominant party in the market at the time. Like we're always around here looking for a dominant bull to be around here. So when we find one, it becomes a tradable opportunity, right? And all this is always like subject to change because the market is always moving. It's always moving. So what may look like a strong bull 1 minute, the next minute could look like a strong sell. So it's a constant monitoring and practice of watching what the market is actually saying. And when I say constant monitoring, it's not about even looking at this all day. Like I may. It's you can come in here and look for 20 minutes and know and see what is going on. That's why all we have to do is wait till the market comes down into one of these regions, and then when it reaches these regions, we can sit and monitor the event. Oh, it looks like this is kind of strong. Let's look, right? And then we will go to, you know, Nadex, and for the next 5 minutes or so, we can, you know, monitor what's going on. You see the prices at 31.18, the mid 31.18 is being brought. So 31.17s are all, you know, pretty much gone. 31.19 is the play. Some people are still selling it, some are buying it. 31.18 is being bought up, the high 31.18s, but 31.19 is still being sold. The high, everything above 87 is still being sold. So that's why we have this difference. So at that point, it's just we sit in the market and wait for, a comfortable opportunity. Right now, you see the market is, 2 micro pips away from 31.19. So you wouldn't just want to go in there and sell it, right? Because it's just too close. Right now, it's even, right? These are just simple ways we just, monitor and look for opportunities. We look for profitable opportunities with low risk, and they don't come all the time, right? We see them now buying up the low 31.19, right? So we're watching that, but we still wouldn't even do anything within this price range, because we see at this price range it's not a stable level of price movement. Even though they're at 31.19, they're like buying at the very low end of it, and that can easily be overcome by the bears at any time. So we have to, we have to wait and be patient and wait for the next or the next or the next. Who knows which one is the one that you feel comfortable with or I feel comfortable with, where we're going to get in and actually take the trade. Because I look at things you have to look at it from the point that you might be comfortable taking the trade at one contract. Okay, but you don't plan to stay at one contract. One day you want to be doing 10, 20, 30 contracts. And at that point, you still have to be comfortable in taking a trade that you're going to take. So every trade that you take needs to be taken off of sound logic and sound evidence that the market is doing exactly what you want it to be doing, right? We see the market now still rising, and this became a pretty strong bull. But we know at the top of this, right, that it's going to be weak bulls. Even though the market could show itself to be a strong bull, right now it shows itself to be a weak bull, or has been showing itself to be a weak bull. This time, when the market came all the way down, it was rejected. So this could be a stronger bull than it was last time, right? Because the last time the market came all the way down, stayed down, and formed another leg. This time, the market is getting some type of rejection, right? It could come all the way back down again and stay down and even do another leg, of course. So none of it means anything until we're comfortable and an opportunity comes. And when an opportunity comes, we'll see this setup, we'll see a signal bar, right? And then we'll have an entry, right? All those things will come into play. It will progress into play. This whole situation, if we was looking at it, we could have said, well, this right here is around, we know that the strong bears are going to come in around there. So when we see this type of movement or this type of movement, we can start, kind of looking, because we know that there's strong bears in there. And it's always going to look like it could go either way a lot of times. That's why you have to wait to the opportunity where it just looks like, it's just sweet. Because it's always going to have that, well, what if look? Or what if it goes this way? You're going to have to deal with that and make peace with it within your own stomach and head and heart. All right? We see them buying up at 31.19, the high of 31.19, right, as suggested by the price of the option at the time, right? Now it's the mid 19s. That means the sellers gained, you know, a little bit. But this is all liable to be fluctuating, you know, at this area. So you see the little battle going on. It looks like the bulls want to show strength because they're buying at the top of the market right now. Right? They're buying at the top. Now this could be a false breakout, as you know, as we just saw, but we did see them buying at the top of the market. It just happened to be a whole bunch of orders up there also, right? And they got pushed back, right? But let's just watch. They might do it again. Let's see what goes on. They're still buying up from 31.19. I see. So it got toppled, but it toppled back into, you know, strength, right? Let's see what goes on. Right now, it's kind of, you know, when the market is the candle is actually facing downward, you know, there's a lot of downward movement, and I can't really trust the bull strength, really, even though it shows itself. I can only trust the bull strength like really down here in this area. This middle area is subject to anything, right? It's subject to anything. Even though you see they made it all the way up here, and they should probably get back up there. You know, let me look at what it's doing. Doesn't really present a trade right now because, I mean, we could get in at 86, but we usually like to don't go, you know, no lower than 83 really, right? So we at least get 15% profit, and there's no sell for us at all. So, you know, it's just nothing panned out with the timing on that particular trade. Now we see how these bulls kind of got overcome there. Like I said, look at how this area, this is a choppy area right in the middle. If you look further down, you just see choppiness, right? Erratic behavior in the middle, right? Now, the bears took control over this candle, but I'm expecting possibly bulls to show strength again in this area, and they have showed some strength. See, subject to look how the market moved. Bulls show strength at 31.18 and a half, right? Probably 31.19 over here about. So that strength we look at, and then we just have to time it up with the opportunity on Nadex, right? That's where the difficulty will lie, just timing it up. I mean, once you get it, you got it, but you have to actually wait till the right time, and the time sets up. Bulls show strength, but then look, bears shot our way down, and now the bulls, look, they're coming back saying, no, we're still here. We'll still here. Still incredible amount of sell pressure because the market started here and it's only been going downward. Even though the bulls, you know, are showing a level of strength in their area, but at the higher parts they show no strength at all, right? But down here they do. More bull strength up to 31.18, the mid 31.18s, right? But they're having a hard time staying there. They keep being overrun by bears right there. Look at the bear extension down. Remember we talked about that it could do that? Now look, could this be a fake out, or is this a real genuine breakout, or is it a teaser? Right? Right now it broke and then it reversed immediately in the same candle. It tried it again, broke back down there again. A lot of selling strength, right? Got to be a lot of selling strength to keep pushing past this bull zone. Like, this is like coming across the line. Like, I'm coming in your house, you know, talking crazy to, you know, your wife and kids and stuff like that. And now we show some strength. Let's see what's going on. At 31.18, the low 31.18, they're still buying. Now that kind of got toppled. It's at the high 31.17s that they're buying now. As you see, so the sellers are really pressing down. But at 31.17, we're still relatively strong with demand orders. Right? We're at the midway point, a little less than midway point, and now they're selling low 31.72. Right? Sellers are really closing down on them. Now they're even under 31.17. 31.17 no longer has a price. 31.15 should show some strength because that's a number. 31.15 is what's that? Is a number that people will think about. You know, it'll trigger emotion. It's an emotional number. 31.16. Now they're buying up the mid 31.16. Buying up the high 31.16. They're gonna make it past 31.17 again. Looks like it's still very much strong selling pressure, right? Still much selling pressure. But we come down under 34 seconds, so the market moved exactly under 30 seconds, which it has a tendency to do. So it makes you can't get into the trade. Have nothing to do with Nadex, and it's not a trick that is being done. It's just that how the day traders and scalpers are looking at the market makes it where they, you know, last 30 seconds and last minute, last 10 seconds, they close out orders. All right, so that's what goes on there. And you see what it looks like here, right? A lot of activity, and you saw that we tried to catch the activity, but if it doesn't match up with our timing on Nadex, we just have to say that it just doesn't match up, and we have to wait for the next opportunity to come. That's just how you know, how the cookie crumbles, so to speak. All right. Right, I don't want to make this particular video but so long, but that's how you kind of look at the breaks. You got, all right?